Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
That's a question I ask myself sometimes every morning. My name is Lucas Meyer-Leclère. I'm based in Berlin. I was born in Dijon, Burgundy, and studied at St. Martin's. Afterwards, worked in Paris. And here I am again in Paris.
And you were discovered by Karl Lagerfeld. What year were you at St. Martin's?
Yeah, they had a show in London, and my friend Dal Kim was modeling there, so I did everything to go, and that's where I met Karl and all the team, and eventually harassed them until I got an internship, and then they hired me to do fabrics there. So that's why I have a thing for fabric.
Do that again. You went so quick. Okay. Great. So take me through the collection.
Here you have a very old shirt that is hand painted, and the idea is that this sort of all look like canvas, but they don't have the stiffness of them. And you have very different layers of pigment that give it its depth. You also have...
It's very soft.
Yeah, no, very. And it's you still have the sort of 3D-ness, let's say, of it, of some parts, but it's highly wearable.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have the detail that is taken in every shirt, which is the seam that are cut open, and so they fray softly. The yoke at the back is entirely taken away.
Mm-hmm. You like to deconstruct things.
Yeah, I like to deconstruct a lot. I think it makes it very fun. And you also have, when you do this, you have this soft sort of crab meat effect that almost looks like an embroidery, which is something that we developed a lot of at Chanel with chiffon and so on. So it's fun to do it with poplin in a way. And here you see at the seam, it's all cut very finely. Otherwise, you just cut off the color. And it's also cut on the side seams here. This one has a pocket though. Sometimes I get rid of the pocket. So you can put your pens inside if you have a pen. No, very few people have pens nowadays.
They have fingers instead.
Yes. Here you have different ties. This one has a French flag, and it was made by Sarti and completely ripped off. So then it becomes almost like a line around the body. This one is some ink drawings that I did, and then it's actually inkjet. That's the only inkjet print of the collection.
So you do all your...
Yes. Yeah, it's far more fun. And that's the thing I enjoy the most, I think. Whether it's drawing or painting, it's always a great pleasure for me. I always try to invite the people who work with me to do it, and they're all very scared. They haven't done it yet, so maybe in the next season, I don't know. And then I must say that last minute I want to do it myself. This is a color that was made for me by Bud, the shirt maker in London. They also sponsored for one of the few shirts the collection, and they have the finest seams. They have all British women working for them in the north of England. And this one, you can wear it like this. I am for sure my best model. Voilà.
Always.
Or, of course, because it has a buttonhole, you can also have a stud placed like this. Donc voilà. We're making more, hopefully, for next season of this one. This is a cashmere coat that is painted.
Can you try it on?
I can try it on. I haven't altered the shape.
Whose coat was it originally?
That's from Berluti.
All right.
So it's very, very, it's a very simple intervention. And that's also why these sort of pieces are unique, is because I can hardly see myself ripping off a cut from Berluti and just copying it, even if it's made again in Italy and so on. I don't think it would be very fair play. This is a shirt that I had made, and it hasn't been altered shape-wise. It just was painted on it, and it sort of reminds me, let's say, afterwards on the trials you have a photograph that you have in blow up and so on, and in the back you have a little guy smoking legal cigarette, only nicotine. Here you have a tie that is made out of two old ties, actually, from the 70s and 60s. And on top you have these ropes that are for sailing, and it's embroidered on top. And it's resting upon a crepe navy trousers that are hand painted.
Can you pull the trousers off?
I can pull them off.
So everything is one of a kind.
Yes.
So, like, if a store orders, say they want 6 of those trousers.
They cannot. What they can do, however, is that we can rework their old stock and have some paintings made on it, but it will never be a screen printing or a serigraphy, for the time being at least, of the very same thing. It'll be the same spirit and color, but I like the idea that they're all different. Otherwise, I find it extremely boring.
Interesting.
It was always very shocking to me when I started traveling and I saw all over the world in different luxury shops the very same clothes. For me, that was always very disturbing for some reason. And the reason why I like fashion so much is that it felt not only exclusive but unique. And so that was very important for me to try to transfer this as much as possible in my own practice.
Mm-hmm.
These are some Lurex Jacquard Palazzo trousers. They were savagely hand painted. Very old ones. Very tight.
Mm-hmm. You wear them?
I can wear them.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't eat before or after, I can wear them. And here you have a shirt. This was from Stefano Pilati's collection, actually, from Random Identity, that I took to a more pictorial level, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
With different sort of layers, and I took out the zip. Again, the yoke is out, and it was thought as a letter, so there are some handwriting on it. I like the idea that you can also post some messages to people you love through what you wear, should it be not too literal. These are some Prada trousers that got a very hardcore Pollock treatment. And it makes it this one they're a bit thicker. It makes it a bit like a raincoat, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's waterproof.
So how are you getting these things, like the Prada?
It depends. Some things I buy, something people
Berluti.
give me, and then some of the things I had for a very long time also. And usually when I get given things, it takes some time. It's not easy to rip off or cut out a gel sander coat right away. And at some point they need to rest and have their soul taken away. Mm-hmm. And then eventually I can have an intervention. It's usually quite, I wouldn't say violent, but there's a certain energy to it for sure.
And what about this? It's like a tapestry.
This tapestry was shown at St. Martin's for my final collection, and then I cut off the arm. That was made from scratch, from the reverse of a fil coupé jacquard that was made for me by Canepa at the time. And it's oil painting, actually. It's highly resistant. So you can wash the Bruegel you have at home. I think they will resist the washing. In the back, perhaps you had seen this one. This one is one of my favorites. I will
Tuxedo,
wear it.
yeah. It's always good if you model it.
I'm usually always lost when my assistant is not here, but, looking for pins or whatever. This one I like a lot, and I will take the button out, otherwise it's going to be a bit tricky. And that is like, with this coming out and so on, is clearly something I want to use again in order to work around cut. I'm obsessed with the idea that tailor jacket could be reversible, and so I want to develop, but maybe I shouldn't say so much, you will see.
Okay.
Here you have a cardigan that was part of Jonathan Anderson's first pre-collection for Loewe, and it's entirely embroidered with a hand-painted chain. This is a scuba diving waistcoat.
So nothing can be duplicated.
I mean, it could eventually be resourced and so on, but I think it can be duplicated in a way that, of course, we can take some patterns out and find similar materials and so on, but it would beat the purpose. I'm far more interested in creating
upcycling.
Yeah, and then creating a capsule collection from existing fabric or from existing garment, or developing, like for this jacket, a cut that is very peculiar and that I can have made to measure. But the idea of having sleepless nights because my production is not arriving and I don't have enough things, and then I ended up having a sample sale for my friends is not very exciting to me.
What's this one? It's all embroidered.
This one is a worker's jacket, and I've put sort of all the fabric that I did in Italy, not all of them of course, otherwise it would be a whole collection, but I was creating fabrics in Milan, and I was getting extremely frustrated because everybody loved them, but a few would buy them. And so these are the things I love the most. This, for example, is knitwear. It's a knitwear grid, and it's bonded onto inkjet print of Raymond Petitbon, actually, the blown up things of Raymond Petitbon. Here you have a tweed that is printed, a larex that is printed with puff binder that I really like. This one is fun also. I've always liked the idea of having the illusion of a tweed, but with jackets, with fabrics that are very light. So this is inkjet twill with some puff binding and pigment on top. This one is really funny. It's like this thread embroidered with some screen printing on top. And here you have a larex bonded with lace. And here are some Harris tweed, because we love Harris tweed. We can get, and I cannot get enough of that. And here some games of embroideries on tweed, screen printing again, bonding of lace. This one also is really fun. That's clearly something I like to experiment more also, to have some grids. It's a little bit this idea here in a way, to have some grids that then create a density. This is a tennis net though. Voilà, that's for
Looks like
Andre
a
Agassi's
net.
wife, maybe, if she listens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
She might be interested. She might be interested. Here you have a very simple poplin shirt. Yet again, you have all the rib side. You have them also on the cuffs. And here, usually what I do is when I paint them, I fold them like this. So then when it's taken out, it designed the M of LML in a hopefully
your logo.
not too obvious way. Hopefully
No.
not too obvious way.
Not
That's
too
the
obvious.
idea. This is a linen jacket, perfect for yachting. Since it's the season, it's always the season for yachting. That is very light. It had no intervention on the cut whatsoever. It's really just the idea of having like a carapace. How do you say carapace in English?
A shell.
A shell, yeah. No gauze, just a shell. Donc voilà.
Then you
This
have your
was-
HIV.
Yeah, that was done with Nicolas Maxime. This one I have to wear.
Okay.
Because it became quite fun. It was shown in a different way during the show, before the cutout, and that's something, this idea of a redingote that I really like. I will show you my best catwalk impression. I hope you like it. Rate, comment, share. Especially with my Reebok, it's gonna look divine. Attention, get ready. So the idea is that it can either flap at the back, or that you can put it back up. Where is it? You can put it back here in the front, or you can also,
Give yourself a bustle.
yeah, to have it here. And I want to make new ones with a zip, so you can take out the whole thing and wear it as a bag.
Nice.
Voila.
Again, I wanted to wrap it up in 1 minute so we can post it. Because
Yeah.
if it goes over 15, they won't do it.
1 minute. Silk,
Yes.
hand painted.
Okay.
Leather, voila, hand painted.
Nice.
How many seconds do we have?
Oh, we have 40.
It's fine, it's almost the end.
We have
This is-
35 seconds.
Ça va. This is my favorite. It was made to measure by Huntsman on Savile Row, and you can wear it on both sides. And I love the idea that something tailleur that was so constructed has the aspect of flou, but it keeps its shape because it's so divinely made by the little hands of Huntsman.
15 seconds.
Dio, hand painted.
Great.
15 seconds. Et voilà, that's it.
9.
9. Goodbye. Thank you.